By far, the supervisor of elections was the most capturing witness of the court proceedings in the election petition case. Some highlights from today's cross-examination of Supervisor of Election and Chief Registration Officer, Pastor Leroy Benjamin, by Senior Counsel for the petitioner, the Honorable Mark Brantley Douglas Mendez. While being cross-examined on Thursday, Supervisor of Elections told the courts that he had never made any statement at any time during the reconfirmation process from December 2007 to October 2008 in respect to an option of reconfirming or re-registering. But today he was referred to a radio statement made around or about September 9, 2008, where he suggested that people reconfirm rather than re-register because it provided an immediate solution. He stated that most likely he would have made those comments. Early in the week, a number of witnesses stated that they were given the choice by the Electoral Office officials to reconfirm or register, but this resulted in them having their names removed from the list. Another highlight, Pastor Benjamin was asked whether he knew if his registration officer, Mrs. Bernadette Lawrence, votes in a different constituency than the one she lives in. He responded, "I don't know." He was further asked if he hadn't heard one witness say it in court this week. He said, "I don't know," then proceeded to add that perhaps it was said, but I don't remember hearing it. Yet another moment during the cross-examination, Pastor Benjamin was asked whether he felt it was right that a person who is properly registered but does not get a proper notice of an objection to be denied the right to vote because they did not receive a hearing. After much hesitation, he replied yes. In another instance, Pastor Benjamin was questioned if he knew about the late objection notices that were being sent out. He said that his registration officer, Mrs. Bernadette Lawrence, said that there was a problem at the post office and stated that the problem was that notices were being returned for various reasons. He said he never heard about the problem of notices of objections being sent after the hearing date in the media or on the street because he is not out there to hear that kind of stuff. Pastor Benjamin said he only found out about this information sometime after the elections had passed. He was questioned whether a matter of such isn't of importance, that she, Bernadette Lawrence, the registration officer, should have told him. Pastor Benjamin hesitated to answer and stated, "Perhaps." He was then taken to a number of exhibits, at least 6, which showed notices which were stamped May 4th or 6th, and the hearing date was April 27th or April 29th, and even one with no hearing date on it at all. It was submitted to him by Senior Counsel Douglas Mendez that there were 91 instances of these, and he was further asked if he understands the enormity of the problem, that even if the postman had delivered the mails to the addresses, it would not have any consequence because it was done after the fact and outside of the 5-day notice period that has been legislated. At another time, Pastor Benjamin was asked what he does, if anything, to ensure that the monthly revised list is prepared and published. He started by saying it's a team effort of his office, and was asked again by Senior Counsel Mendez, "What is your role in the preparation of the revised monthly list?" He answered, "Well, I run off copies." Mendez stated, "So your sole purpose in preparing the list is the photocopier?" He interrupted by saying, "No, I also do other things." Things like what, Senior Counsel Mendez asked, to which he answered, "I put the papers together and staple them." Senior Counsel Mendez submitted to him that he had never seen a copy of the revised monthly lists, as they were never in existence before he published them in response to a subpoena from the court. The moment that finalized the entire session was when Senior Counsel for the Honorable Mark Brantley Douglas Mendez stated that, "I am putting it to you that something went seriously wrong and you deliberately stayed away from the problem." "That is not true," Pastor Benjamin replied. "I am putting it to you that you are hostile to the CCM and partial to the NRP," Senior Counsel Mendez asserted. "I strongly disagree and take objection to that. You are totally wrong. I do not support any party or have any party affiliation," Pastor Benjamin hurled back. "Actions speak louder than words," senior counsel responded, and continued to say, I submit to you that you took a deliberate series of steps designed to have people removed from the voters list, and you did nothing to stop it. You are totally wrong, and I take strong offense to your statement, Benjamin rehashed. Then your actions, if they were not deliberate, was it a matter of incompetence? Senior counsel Douglas Mendes asked. Pastor Benjamin responded, that is a nasty question. On that note, the cross-examination of Benjamin came to a close by senior counsel Mendes. Those were just a few of the highlights from Friday's cross-examination of Supervisor of Elections and Chief Registration Officer Pastor Leroy Benjamin by senior counsel for the petitioner, the Honorable Mark Brantley, Douglas Mendes.